can change your son with positive attention. And that's what I want you to start doing. Stop being so vicious with that tongue. You can be vicious of manhood in a way that he won't be able to repair it. Watch your mouth. Be more positive with your language. You can give him consequences. Consequences don't require you to yell. Consequences don't require you to curse. Consequences don't require you to be verbally abusive. You follow me? Just give him the consequence. Do it in a calm voice. You messed up. This is your punishment. But start spending time with your son one-on-one outside the house, just you and him, and explain to your daughter and explain to him what's going on. I'm going to be with her on Wednesday. I'm going to be with you on Thursday. Y'all could go for a walk. Y'all could go for a slice of pizza. It ain't got to be nothing expensive. Y'all could go sit in the park and play checkers, at the bench. Think of real simple things that allow y'all to bond. Your son needs to bond with you, because if he don't bond with you, he going to bond with a gang. Gangs are surrogate families. Children join gangs when they don't feel like they have a family to be a part of. So yes, you're doing a good job. Keep up the good work. But please, please, please change the way you talk.
That's your place, and I'm going to see what therapy they do.
Yeah, call Trenton Psychiatric. Also Google black psychologists in Mercer County as well.
Okay.
All right. And see if you can find me a place to come up there and speak.
Pick them up right now.
Okay. And if y'all find me that spot, I want to have a session with you and your son. You're going to need to remind me. It'll either be before the lecture or after the lecture, an hour with me, you, and your son. It don't have to be at your house. We can go to the park somewhere. But I want a 1 hour session with me, you, and your son.
Okay.
All right? You got my number. Keep me posted, Queen. And leave that weed alone. 5 days strong, 5 days. I want you to get to 50 days strong.
Thank you for talking to
me.
No
problem. No problem. All right, guys. Be blessed. Black mothers, watch how you talk to your sons. Black mothers, watch how you talk to your sons.
Peace and blessings, Dr. Umar. How are you today?
Peace and love, Sister Marcia. What part of Philly you in, Queen?
Northwest near B&O.
Northwest. Okay. Germantown, Mount Airy, West Oak Lane?
Yes. You're right near Girls High. My alma mater.
Got you. Go ahead and tell me, what's your question, beautiful?
Well, my question sort of changed now listening to the conversation you just had with that sister, and I want to thank you. You addressed some issues that I wasn't even facing, especially with the cannabis. I'm like...
Yes, Queen. They're spraying the cannabis with chemicals that are pharmacologically not far removed from the opioid and the methamphetamines.
See, I didn't know that part of it.
Yes.
But, and I'm wondering, my sons, I was calling about my 12-year-old daughter, but my sons are 25 and 27. They're men, I know, but I'm still their mother, and they smoke every day. That's the only thing consistently they do. They do work. I'm not saying they're bad boys or anything like that. But, I never smoked, but now when I hear what you just said, I'm like replaying some issues in my head. Maybe I was a little verbally abusive with them because their father wasn't around and, they all have the same father and, I'm like, where's this cannabis uses? And I used to tell them, without having your expertise, I used to say to them, I said, there's no, I grew up, of course, around an older brother in the 70s. I'm used to weed. I said, where are your sticks? Where's the seeds? I said, you don't know what you're smoking. I told
artificial,
them that. I said,
yes, artificial marijuana. Yes, artificial marijuana and marijuana with a very low THC and CBD level. And so they spray it. And China makes it. And then somebody said, well, marijuana is illegal in China. So are a lot of the other chemicals that China sells around the world. That don't mean just because they don't use it, don't mean they don't make it. Right?
Okay. The same food that they eat, they don't
exactly.
Eat the food
they don't eat the food they sell us. Exactly. Exactly. China is the according to the program that I saw, China is the leading producer of artificial cannabinoids that they're using to spray the marijuana with, and it's so strong that it is just as toxic and just as dangerous as opioids and meth.
I'd like to see that program because, my son, he has these like outbursts sometimes, and I'm like, okay, well, it's not that serious. But now, what you're telling me, I want to see that program definitely. I'm going to Google it, see if I can find it.
Yeah.
'Cause I don't know
Google
how
cannabinoids.
China.
Chinese cannabinoids, it should pop up. But the one guy, it was a drug dealer. He was a drug dealer, one of the biggest drug dealers in the world. And he said the marijuana we get now is not the marijuana we used to get, and all of it is being sprayed. He said people are not getting high off the THC and the CBD. They're getting high off of the artificially produced cannabinoids. And he said those cannabinoids are so dangerous that smoking weed now is almost as bad as smoking opioids and meth. He said it. The drug dealer said it.
And they're not going to treat our children the way they're treating the current opioid patients with the Narcan in the library and all this nonsense. They're going to treat them the way they treated crack addicts. And it's weird. I told him, I said, stuff don't even smell right. I remember back in the day, weed had a smell to it that wasn't bad, but this smell, it's like, that smells like I told him, I said, that smells like a chemistry experiment. I told him, it's like, what are y'all doing? You're too young. Why are you using this stuff? Because, back in the day, brothers would smoke it after work, on the weekend. I said, my brother didn't smoke weed you guys smoke weed every day. What is that? But now, thank you for that. Now I know I'm going to do my research, but I don't know how I can get through to them now because the world tells them at, 18, they don't have to listen, but now they're 25 and 27, I've always, they
remember, they still got to listen if they're in your house. They still got to follow your rules.
See, and I moved back into my father's house to take care of him. So it's my father's house. And all three of them, including my father, has told me this is his house. So that sort of has not,
well, but your father can't.
Had away.
Okay, you got to make sure your father doesn't undermine.
That's too late. That's a foregone.
Oh, okay.
And now he doesn't remember that he did it, so it's like, because he's 90, and he's old. That's why I moved back to take care of him. My mother has Alzheimer's. It's just I've had 2 heart surgeries. There's a lot going on.
Okay, you got to change that diet, beautiful.
Say that again.
I said you have to change that diet. Get off that grease and oil. Start getting more solids and fruits up in you.
Okay. I have a metal valve in my heart, so now they're telling me I can't eat greens, and this is ridiculous. I'm trying to find a way. There's a brother at 10th and Alany that's working with me. He's an herbalist, and he's trying to help me get, at this point, the metal's in me now. I don't know how, I've done the damage. But I was calling, because like I said, I have a lot of things going on, and I really don't want to say this on the phone because I don't want nobody to really come look for me. I'm homeschooling my daughter, and I'm dropping the ball. I'm not going to kid you. I'm dropping the ball. I'm not consistent. I don't want her, I talked to her. I have tons of books, all the Del Jones books. I have, Garvey books. I have, just about every book, Naima, or you name it, I have it. But, like I said, my consistency because of the guilt I carry because this child is 12 and she's been through 2 heart surgeries with me. Like I said, their father is not in the picture. Even though he's in Philly and alive and well and kicking. And I just don't know how I can turn this around because she is addicted to the computer. I know you say take it away.
You got to take it away. You got to take it away. Because here's what I'm going to tell you, Queen. If you're not doing a better job than the public school, send her back to public school. You feel me? You got to be honest with yourself.
One thing I'm dropping the ball with the consistency. I am teaching her value and her worth as an African.
Which is good, but you can do that even if she goes to school.
Like I said, my sons tease me. They call me Malkema X because, like I think I spoke to you before, I knew Del. I know Deke. And, my sons went to the Academy of the Way when that school was in existence. My children graduated from Imhotep. So I try to keep them, and I'm always talking to them. We're always analyzing. So in that sense, I think I am doing better than the public school in the sense of, propping her up and making her understand and realize that she is the descendant of kings and queens and that it's not just
What
words.
grade is she in?
I'm sorry?
What grade is your princess in?
She should be in 7th. Like I said, I had heart surgery, and I'm still recovering. My left
So do
side's
you
coming
even have
down.
the energy to homeschool anymore? I'm concerned about that. Like, do you really have the energy, given the fact you had your surgery and you're rehabilitating yourself? Do you really have the energy to properly homeschool, or is she getting away by not doing what she's supposed to do?
What you said, right?
Because let me tell you my concern, and I've seen this
Right.
over and over right here in Philly. We don't want a situation. How long you been homeschooling her? Since what grade? How many years? 1 year, 2 year, 3 years? How long you been doing it?
3 years.
You've been homeschooling her for 3 years. Let's say you decide to stick her back into high school in the 9th grade. You stick her back in the 9th grade, and she take the PSSA, and all her levels are like the 4th or 5th grade level. They're going to be trying to call your daughter educably mentally retarded, or at least learning disabled. So I'm telling you now, and this is why I tell homeschool parents, you have to know how long you're going to homeschool before you start homeschooling. Because if you don't plan to homeschool through high school graduation, which means that child will be placed back into school at some point, you got to make sure that they have the skills commensurate with the grade that they'll be rejoining school at. You have make sure you download Pennsylvania state standards for the grades. So when you download Pennsylvania state standards for 7th grade, 6th grade, and 5th, get the past 3 years. You can see everything your child should be able to do. And you got to ask yourself, can she do this stuff? Because if she can't, you're going to have to get real intensive with your homeschool regimen, or you're going to have to stick her back into school before it's too late. Because the worst thing that can happen to your daughter is to go to high school and not have the skills to be successful in high school. She'll end up dropping out.
Right.
Homeschool can be good, but a homeschool can be dangerous if it's not done right. So I'm saying that what you might need to think about doing is getting her ready to go back next year. She might even have to repeat the 7th grade if you think, she might not be ready. She might got to, go in 7th. Okay, but even if you think she's ready for 8th next year, this summer got to be real intensive. I think you should hire a tutor. I think you should hire a tutor to work with her with math and reading and writing to help get her up so when she goes back to school, she's where she needs to be. If it ain't going to be done right, homeschooling shouldn't be done at all. And I understand the challenges you have, so in no way am I criticizing you, Queen. I'm just saying I need you to be honest about whether or not you can do this anymore.
Right. And everything you said has been in the back of my head. I feel like I failed her as it is with the 2 surgeries, and she watched all of this, and now, like I said, she sees her brother, her brothers every day. You can smell it. It's like,
it might be time for them. They're going to have to get some rules, or they're going to have to get out. Like, we have to stop this. We have this thing where no matter how poorly our children treat us or disrespect us, we're still going to baby them and coddle them. If those grown Negroes can't respect your daughter, they need to be put out the house. And if your father, who you're taking care of, understandably, but if he can't support you in putting your sons back in line, then you got to say, Dad, I'm not going to be able to take care of you. You either going to have to put them out, or me and my daughter got to leave. Make a decision. Because they're not going to take care of them. I mean, you're going to have to put your foot down, Queen, because you got too much to deal with. You got your own self. You got your daughter. You're taking care of your father. That's a lot on you. You got to take care of yourself post-surgery. You got to take care of your father. You homeschooling your daughter. You have to be exhausted. And on top of that, you got 2 grown sons who want to do whatever the hell they want, include smoking all through the house in front of your baby. No. Something got to change. Either you and your daughter got to move, or your father got to put them out, or they got to stop following some rules. You have to be exhausted. You got too much on your plate to be putting up with this. You still there, Queen? Oh, her phone must have gave out. Somebody just texted me. I want to have your baby. Cut it out, Queen. Cut it out. All right. I got time for one more. I got to get on the radio. Detroit. Don't forget my Albany Africans. I need a space in Albany for a free community lecture. Sunday, May 1st from 5 to 9. Free community lecture in Albany. 5 to 9, May 1st. If you know of a place, hit me 215-989-9858. We're going back to Trenton. We going back to Trenton, New Jersey. Hit the Cash App, $FDMG School. Hit the Cash App, $FDMG School. Hit the personal Cash App, Dr. Umar Johnson. Hit the personal Cash App, Dr. Umar. Peace and love, Sister Melissa. How you doing today?
Good. You already called me, Doctor.
Oh, I'm sorry, Queen. I didn't move. I was like, okay, I got another sister from Trenton. My bad. Keep me posted on that venue, Melissa. Keep me posted. All right, babe. All right. Okay. Dr. Umar, this is Sister Bahamian Trey from Instagram. It pains my heart to the core to tell you this. I left the job I was at because I was being underpaid. Minimum wage here is $250 a week. I got paid $100 a week. Just last month, I left the radio station. I've sent out resumes at other radio stations. I just wanted to be transparent, not lead you on. Okay, we got people struggling out there. You know what I'm going to have to start doing? I think I got an idea. We about to bring back the NIBPA. NIBPA. Licensed behavior specialist in PA. Okay, Sister Tamara, I forgot about that. All right. Okay, I got you, Queen. I got you. We might even, okay, I got you, Sister Tamara. I forgot that you got them licenses. So we're gonna work with that. Dr. Umar, I've been sexually assaulted in childhood and a teenager. My siblings have as well, my mother. And now that I have 2 daughters, I have a fear that somebody's going to sexually assault my children. I was living with my boyfriend at one point. He would get dressed in front of my daughters and never had an issue with it. Oh man, I've had concern about him before I realized that it was just a fear I had. Like when he took longer to change their diapers. Do you think my fear is good to have, or do you think I may need some kind of therapy? How do I know who can be trusted? And I don't shelter my children from the world. My father was not around growing up and wasn't active, one of whom tried to bring advances towards me. Wow, okay. What I would say, it's not about fear. It's about protecting your child, okay? If you don't trust them, they can't be alone with the child, period. You might even be wrong in thinking that the man can't be trusted. But so what? I would rather feel offended that you think I would do something that I would never do and protect your child than drop your guard and your child gets abused. And this is what I tell black men, because I know black men, they say, Doc, my queen don't trust me around her daughter. You know, she be feeling all iffy, so I be feeling iffy. It's just not comfortable. Brothers, the damage done to a black woman who has been violated is so traumatic that we as black men have to understand that black women come from a culture of sex abuse. Black women have a strong culture of sex abuse, and they're being sexually abused by black men. So when you date a woman who has children, or even if you are around your own biological children, I tell black men, be as transparent as you can. Be as transparent as you can. Change the baby in front of the mom. Wash the baby in front. Come on, let's wash it together. Let's change it together, because I need you to be comfortable. And if you never get comfortable with me being alone, I'm okay with that too, because I need you to be comfortable. I don't want a mother having to decide if I should leave my daughter alone with my fiance, with my boyfriend, with my husband, with her baby father. I'm of the opinion, if you feel more comfortable being around, then be around. I'm not going to feel offended as a man, because I know that the risks are too high. And if she drops her guard with me, she may drop her guard with another man who might be the wrong one, who will abuse the child. So black men, we have to get comfortable with women who are uncomfortable having men around their children. Let me say it again. Black men, we have to be comfortable around women who are uncomfortable having men around your children. Okay? I'm very serious about that. If it's best for her to take her daughter with her, let her take her daughter with her and tell her that, listen, queen, I know you're not comfortable leaving your baby with me. I know you're not comfortable leaving your 5-year-old with me. I know you're not comfortable leaving your 12-year-old. I need you to be at peace. I am not offended if you decide to take her with you every time you leave this house, because I know what you've been through. I know what your mom been through. I know what your sister's been through. I know what your auntie's been through. Go ahead and take her with you. It would not bother me, because I understand the trauma. Brothers, she's dealing with post-traumatic stress disorder. Don't make it harder on her. Why you acting like I'm going to touch the kid? You think I'm a pedophile? Don't do that. That's not the way to deal with women who've been traumatized. They're going to be overly protective of their daughters. They're going to be overly protective of their daughters because they've been traumatized. Respect the trauma. Respect the trauma. I'm not saying accept it. I'm saying respect the trauma. If that's what she needs to do, let her do it. Stop fighting with these women about how uncomfortable they are with you around your child when you know you are innocent of any wrongdoing. Let them do it. Because guess what, brother? Guess what, black man? Let me tell you what you don't want. You don't want her to leave that daughter at home. And then when you're not around, she questions that 6-year-old when you're not around, and she leads with the questioning. Because children have a very impressionable mind. Children have a very impressionable mind. Children have a very impressionable mind. So she questions that 6-year-old and says, did he touch you here? Did he kiss you in the mouth? Did he show you? You don't supposed to question a kid like that. All the questions should be open. What did he do? Tell me what he did. Tell everything he did. Is that all he did? Just tell me what. You don't lead a child with questions, because children have a confirmatory bias. They want to please the adults. And if the baby feels that her mother wants to say you touched her, the baby will say you touched her. And then the baby will create a false imagination and a memory based on something that didn't even happen. I did a whole research report on this working on my doctorate. False memories implanted in children. I did a whole research report working on my doctorate. False memories implanted in children by their parents. False memories are real. You can make a child think they was victimized and they were never even victimized. So trust me, black man, if she wants to take the girl, let her take the girl, for you end up in prison for something you didn't do, because the traumatized mother is leading with questions that she's asking the child when you are not around. Brothers and sisters, I know I still got some parents on the line, but I got to cut. I got to get ready for Detroit. Couple of announcements. Please reserve Saturday, September 10th, 2022 for the second annual FDMG Festival. Please reserve Saturday, September 10th, 601 East 17th Street, Wilmington, Delaware. Registration will begin May 1st. Vendor registration, performance registration will begin May 1st for the festival. Detroit, Michigan, I will be in Highland Park in Detroit the last Sunday of this month. I will be in Highland Park in Detroit the last Sunday of this month, April the 24th. Doors open at 2, program from 3 to 7. We will be at the Hamilton Tucker Art Gallery in Detroit, Highland Park. Hamilton Tucker Art Gallery, 16065 Hamilton Avenue, 16065 Hamilton Avenue. This Saturday, Long Island, New York. Also free. You don't have to register. Just come. Bring the kids, bring the elders. Leave the Negro peons at home. Saturday, April the 16th, we will be at the Roosevelt Public Library in Long Island, New York. Roosevelt, New York, 21 West Fulton Avenue in Long Island. Roosevelt Library, 3 to 7, doors at 2. We also have the Albany I Am a Man March.org. Make sure you go register, IamAManMarch.org. Panel discussions all day Saturday. There's a dinner Saturday night. There's a march Saturday afternoon. And I'm hoping to hear from one of my Albany Africans. I want to do a free seminar. I've never been to Albany, Georgia. This is my first time. I want to do a free seminar in Albany, Georgia, Sunday, May 1st, 5 to 9. If you have a location, please let me know. So with that being said, I got to get ready to jump on the Superstation 910 Detroit AM. Hit the Cash App for the school, $FDMG school. Hit the Cash App for the school, $FDMG school. Hit the Cash App for Dr. Umar, Dr. Umar Johnson, Dr. Umar Johnson. School donations go to the school. Cash at me, personal donations. Do not mix the two. School donations, $FDMG school. School donations, paypal.me/FDMG Academy. Personal donations, $Dr. Umar Johnson, and paypal.me/Umar the psychologist. My European Africans, shout out to my London Africans, my Wolverhampton Africans, my Paris Africans, my Amsterdam Africans. I was invited to keynote African Liberation Day in Nottingham, England, May 27th and 28th. I just received an invitation to keynote African Liberation Day in the United Kingdom, Black England, in Nottingham, the 27th and the 28th. King Kong consciousness is coming back to the United Kingdom. King Kong consciousness is coming back to Europe. African Liberation Day, May 27th, May 28th. London gang, pull up. Paris gang, pull up. Amsterdam gang, pull up. Wolverhampton gang, pull up. Luton gang, pull up. Bristol gang, pull up. The Prince is returning to London. African Liberation Day, May 27th, 28th. The Garvey grenade is coming. Let's make it pop. Peace and Pan-Africanism.